The sound of wedding bells echoes softly, carrying a feeling of warmth and joy across the ranch. A white veil moves in the breeze, and the camera focuses on the glow of two people standing at the center of it all. For years, fans of Heartland have waited for a moment like this. A moment where love and family meet in the most beautiful way. Amy and Nathan's wedding is not just a scene, not just a ceremony. It is the beginning of something that will shape the next chapter of Heartland. Before we step into the magic of Amy and Nathan's wedding, we need to look back at the path that brought them here. Amy has always been at the heart of Heartland. From the very first season, her story was about courage, healing, and the strength of family. She grew up on the ranch, learned from her mother's wisdom, and carried on the tradition of helping horses find peace and freedom. But beyond the ranch work, Amy's story has always been about love. It has been about finding someone who understands the weight of responsibility, the depth of loss, and the hope of new beginnings. Nathan's arrival in Amy's life felt like a quiet surprise. He was not just a man passing through. He was someone who brought steady strength and a gentle heart. Viewers watched their friendship grow into trust, and then into something more. The wedding we see now is not just the start of their marriage, but the reward of patience, respect, and love that took time to build. For the fans, it feels like the closing of one long story and the opening of another. At the wedding, the ranch itself feels alive. The land that has held so many memories now carries this new one, brighter than the rest. The chairs are lined up. The guests arrive with smiles and soft laughter, and there is a quiet hum of excitement in the air. You can almost hear the horses in the distance, as if they too know something special is happening. The details of the wedding are simple but meaningful. Flowers from the garden, music played by family, decorations that carry pieces of their history. Nothing feels too perfect, nothing feels too polished, because that has never been what Heartland is about. Instead, it feels real, grounded, and filled with love. This is where Amy steps forward in her wedding dress. Her smile is both nervous and strong, the kind of smile that comes from knowing how much this day means. Nathan waits for her, his eyes full of emotion, not with grand gestures but with quiet devotion. Their story has always been about moments like this, small, truthful, and powerful. As Amy takes those steps toward him, the entire ranch, and maybe even the entire series, seems to take a breath. For longtime viewers, this wedding is not just about Amy and Nathan. It is about the journey we've taken with them. It is about watching a young girl grow into a woman, watching her face struggles and heartbreak, and seeing her finally step into a chapter built on love and hope. It is about seeing that the family we've grown with for 19 seasons continues to evolve. This wedding is a reminder that even in a world of challenges, love has the power to begin again. The wedding begins with a silence that feels sacred, as if the entire world has paused to witness this moment. The gentle strum of a guitar drifts into the air, blending with the sound of the wind moving through the trees around Heartland. Every detail seems to whisper a story. The chairs are filled with faces both new and familiar, family, friends, neighbors, and people who have shared parts of Amy and Nathan's journey. Some wipe away quiet tears, others beam with joy, and all carry the same thought. This is a day they will remember forever. The aisle is not just a path of white fabric and flower petals. It is a path filled with meaning, carrying the weight of memories that led Amy here. Each step she takes echoes the love of her late mother, the lessons of her grandfather, and the strength she has shown in keeping Heartland alive. It feels as though every piece of her past has guided her to this moment. And now, the ranch itself stands as a witness to her future. Nathan's eyes never leave her. He doesn't fidget, he doesn't look away. He stands tall, steady, and unshaken. In his gaze there is no doubt only devotion. To the viewers, his presence reflects something deeper than romance. It is the promise of stability, of partnership, and of a love that does not fade in the face of hardship. When Amy finally reaches him, it feels as if the entire audience watching from home lets out a breath they didn't realize they were holding. The ceremony itself is simple, but that simplicity makes it powerful. The words exchanged are not decorated with grand speeches but filled with honesty. Amy's vows are steady, her voice clear, but in her eyes, emotion shines like fire. She speaks of trust, of patience, of the journey they've taken, and the love that will guide them forward. Nathan's words carry a quiet strength, promising not only to love Amy, but to stand beside her in every storm, every challenge, every chapter still unwritten. As they exchange rings, there is a quiet moment where the world seems to stand still. The rings are not just metal. They are symbols of everything they've endured, everything they've promised, and everything they will continue to build together. It is a reminder to fans that Heartland has always been about more than horses, ranch life, or drama. At its core, it has always been about family, love, and the unbreakable ties that hold people together. When the officiant finally announces them as husband and wife, the crowd erupts in soft cheers and clapping. Yet it isn't the sound of applause that lingers most. It is the look on Amy's face as she leans into Nathan, their first kiss as husband and wife unfolding beneath the wide Alberta sky. The moment is both intimate and monumental. The world of Heartland has shifted, not through grand drama or conflict, but through the simple, timeless act of two hearts choosing to become one. This wedding scene does more than celebrate love. It sets the stage for what is to come in Season 19. Fans sense it instantly. Behind the beauty of this day lies the question, what will marriage bring for Amy and Nathan? Will love be enough to protect them from the trials waiting ahead? Heartland has always thrived on the balance of joy and struggle, and this wedding marks the perfect beginning of a season that promises both. The wedding fades into celebration. Laughter rises from the ranch house, glasses are raised, and the night air fills with music and dancing. For Amy and Nathan, this is the happiest moment of their lives. But as the camera lingers, fans know that Heartland has never been a story of easy endings. Every time joy blooms, life finds a way to test it. And here, beneath the glow of string lights and the warmth of family, small shadows of tomorrow begin to stir. Amy's world has always been tied to the ranch, and with marriage comes the blending of two lives. While Nathan is devoted and strong, he is still learning what it means to be part of Heartland's legacy. He steps into a family that has weathered storms for nearly 2 decades, and not every challenge can be solved with love alone. There are decisions to make, burdens to carry, and a future to build. The wedding may unite them, but it also places them at the center of change. The guests may not see it, but hints of what lies ahead begin to appear. A conversation at the edge of the celebration reveals old wounds that have not yet healed. Family members smile, but in their eyes, there are stories untold. The ranch itself, beautiful under the wedding lights, holds reminders of work still to be done. Horses restless in the distance, fields waiting for care, and challenges that will not pause for newlyweds. For Amy, marriage is not an escape. It is a new layer of responsibility. She carries the weight of her past and the hope of her family's future. Fans know that her strength has always been tested in moments when life seemed most peaceful. This wedding, as magical as it is, will not shield her from trials ahead. In fact, it may draw them closer. Nathan, too, will be tested. His love is steady, but Heartland will demand more than devotion. He will need to prove that he can stand firm when the ranch faces hardship, when family tensions rise, and when the world does not bend to happiness. For viewers, the question is not whether he loves Amy. It is whether that love can endure the weight of Heartland's endless challenges. And then, as the night deepens, the celebration softens. A breeze moves through the trees, carrying both peace and a subtle unease. The camera pulls back to show the vastness of the ranch under the stars. It is beautiful, timeless, and yet it feels almost fragile. Season 19 will not simply be about a wedding. It will be about what comes after. The struggles of blending lives, the tensions of protecting a legacy, and the unexpected trials that arrive when love meets reality. This is the brilliance of Heartland. Just when viewers think the story has reached its happily ever after, it reminds them that family, love, and life itself are journeys, not endings. The wedding is a spark of joy, but the fire of Season 19 will be lit by how Amy and Nathan face the shadows waiting on the horizon. As the wedding feast carries on, the Bartlett Fleming family sits at the heart of it all, smiling, laughing, and embracing the joy of Amy and Nathan's union. Yet beneath the happiness, there are undercurrents that longtime fans can't miss. Heartland has always been more than a story about two people falling in love. It is about a family bound by land, by history, and by the weight of choices that echo through generations. And now, with Amy's marriage, those tides begin to shift once more. As the wedding feast carries on, the Bartlett Fleming family sits at the heart of it all, smiling, laughing, and embracing the joy of Amy and Nathan's union. Yet beneath the happiness, there are undercurrents that longtime fans can't miss. Heartland has always been more than a story about two people falling in love. It is about a family bound by land, by history, and by the weight of choices that echo through generations. And now, with Amy's marriage, those tides begin to shift once more. As the glow of Amy and Nathan's wedding lingers, Heartland itself stands as a reminder that life does not pause for celebration. The ranch has always been a living, breathing character in the story, a place of beauty, but also of endless work and responsibility. And now, as Amy and Nathan step into marriage, they inherit not just each other's hearts, but the constant demands of the land, the horses, and the people who depend on them. Heartland is no stranger to challenges. The open fields stretch endlessly, but every acre requires care. Horses continue to arrive with troubled spirits, each carrying its own story of pain and hope. For Amy, healing these horses is not just a calling, it is who she is. But being newly married means balancing the life she has built around the ranch with the partnership she now shares with Nathan. Can love thrive when the ranch never sleeps? When every day brings new trials that pull at her time, her energy, and her heart? Nathan too finds himself tested in ways he did not expect. He has always been strong and supportive. But Heartland is not just about standing beside Amy. It is about stepping into a role that demands patience, sacrifice, and resilience. The community watches him, some with open arms, others with doubt. Can Nathan shoulder the weight of the ranch's reputation? Can he prove that he belongs not only to Amy, but to the legacy of Heartland itself? The surrounding community adds to the strain. Neighbors, local ranchers, and longtime friends bring their own expectations, their own pressures. The Bartlett Fleming family has always been a pillar of the area, and with Amy at the forefront, everyone looks to her for guidance. But now, as a wife, she must also navigate how her choices affect Nathan, how their shared future is shaped by the expectations of others. The ranch may be a place of love, but it is also a place of responsibility that stretches far beyond its fences. Even nature plays its part in the story. Harsh winters, sudden storms, and unpredictable seasons continue to challenge the ranch's survival. For years, Amy and her family have faced these struggles, but with marriage comes new pressure. Every setback will now test not just the ranch, but the bond between Amy and Nathan. The land is beautiful, but it does not bend easily. It demands strength, and it will demand it from both of them. This is where Heartland shines most, showing that joy and hardship walk hand in hand. The wedding may have been a day of perfect beauty, but perfection cannot last. In Season 19, fans will watch as Amy and Nathan face the truth that love is not enough to make life simple. Love must be paired with work, trust, and the courage to keep going when everything feels heavy. The ranch never sleeps, and neither does life. For Amy and Nathan, this reality will shape their first season as a married couple. Every sunrise brings not just hope, but challenges. Every sunset is a reminder that tomorrow will demand more. And it is in this relentless rhythm of Heartland that their love will either deepen into something unbreakable or be tested like never before. Marriage begins with promises, but promises are tested not in grand moments, but in the quiet spaces between them. For Amy and Nathan, the wedding was the celebration. Now comes the reality. Two lives, two histories, and two sets of dreams woven together into something new. And while the world around them expects joy to carry them through, the truth is more complicated. Amy has always carried the ranch on her shoulders. She has healed horses, guided her family and kept Heartland alive through hardship. But as a wife, she faces the pull of another role, one that asks her to share her time, her choices, and her heart in a way she has never had to before. Love is not in question, but balance is. How do you remain the strong caretaker of a legacy, while also being present as a partner? Amy feels the weight of this question, even if she does not speak it aloud. Nathan, too, feels the shift. He adores Amy, but being married to someone so deeply tied to Heartland is not easy. He must learn to stand beside her without losing himself, to support her dreams while finding space for his own. Fans will see his quiet struggles, moments where he wonders if he is enough, moments where he faces the shadows of comparison to the men who came before. His love for Amy is real, but love does not erase self-doubt. Together, they will face the small arguments that grow from exhaustion, the unspoken words that linger after long days, and the sacrifices that come with choosing each other over and over again. It is not betrayal or loss that threatens them. It is the everyday grind, the endless demands of life, and the invisible toll that responsibility takes on the heart. This is where Heartland Season 19 finds its emotional depth. The show has always been about more than weddings and big moments. It is about the humanity of love. It is about showing that even when two people are perfect for each other, life will test them in unexpected ways. For Amy and Nathan, the test will not be whether they love one another. It will be whether they can keep that love steady when the world around them refuses to slow down. There will be tender moments, too. A late-night walk under the stars, where they finally breathe together. A simple touch of hands across the dinner table after a long day. Quiet words spoken in the barn, where love reminds them that even in the hardest times, they are not alone. These moments will not erase the struggles, but they will anchor them. And in those anchors, fans will see the heart of Heartland. The truth that love is not perfect, but it is powerful enough to endure. Season 19 will not let their story be simple. It will show Amy and Nathan as newlyweds who are still learning, still adjusting, and still fighting for each other. And in those struggles, fans will see something more than a love story. They will see themselves. Because real love, like life on the ranch, is never without sacrifice. It is in the sacrifices that love grows stronger. The final dance of the wedding plays out under the wide Alberta sky. Music drifts through the night, soft and timeless, while Amy and Nathan move together in a moment that feels suspended outside of time. The crowd watches with smiles, the ranch glows with lantern light, and everything seems perfect. Yet fans know that this moment is not the end. It is the beginning. Heartland has always been a story about journeys, not destinations, and this wedding marks the start of a new road filled with both love and uncertainty. As Amy leans against Nathan, there is a sense of peace, but also of strength. This is not the kind of love that ends when the music fades. It is the kind of love that will be tested, stretched, and reshaped by the challenges waiting ahead. And that is what makes it powerful. Heartland Season 19 does not promise fairy tales, it promises truth. The truth that marriage is work, that family is complicated, and that even in hardship, joy can be found. The Bartlett-Fleming family gathers close, and for a fleeting moment, the years of struggle, loss, and triumphs seem to come together in one image. This family has been the heartbeat of Heartland for nearly 2 decades, and now, with Amy and Nathan stepping into marriage, the beat changes but does not stop. It grows stronger, carrying forward everything that came before and everything still to come. Beyond the wedding lights, the land stretches wide and endless. The ranch waits. The horses wait. The future waits. Season 19 will not be simple. It will test every bond, stir up old conflicts, and bring new challenges that will demand courage. But that is the beauty of Heartland. It does not give easy answers. It shows us that love and family survive not because life is easy, but because people choose to fight for one another day after day. For fans, this is the moment to feel both joy and anticipation. Joy for the love that has blossomed between Amy and Nathan, and anticipation for the trials and triumphs their marriage will bring. This is not the end of their story. It is the spark of a new beginning. A reminder that no matter how heavy life becomes, love has the power to carry us forward. And so, the screen fades with one last image: Amy and Nathan holding each other, framed by the lights of the ranch and the vastness of the stars above. Their journey as husband and wife has just begun, and with it, Heartland Season 19 opens a new chapter. A chapter of love, of family, of challenges, and of hope. Now the question is no longer about the wedding. It is about what comes next. Fans are invited to step into this journey, to watch, to feel, and to believe once more in the enduring power of Heartland. The trailer is waiting, the season is ready, and Amy and Nathan's love story is only just beginning.